Hey, I am DROdio, the CEO of Storytell, and we use Storytell to build Storytell. I want to show you how we do that with Linear. Storytell is a platform that lets you talk to your data and be able to make sense of large amounts of noisy, unstructured data. And one of those sources is Linear. And by the way, if you use Jira, this is going to be a very similar workflow and process. We use Storytell to help us make sense of all of our linear tickets and use all that engineering work for business purposes. One of the things that we want to do is just be able to talk to all of our linear tickets. And if you're a product manager, especially, and you want to be able to communicate more effectively with engineering or bridge, maybe you're a product marketer, you want to bridge what engineering is doing with the stories that you're telling to the outside world, this is a really good way to do it. I'm going to walk you through step by step how to do it and then some value that you can get from it. So the first thing in Linear that you want to do is you want to go to your views and create a view. You can call it export to Storytell, but we're just going to get the linear tickets out of Linear and into Storytell by exporting as a CSV. What I like to do is filter for a specific team, like for the engineering team, and then I like to find a status of issues that are not in completed status for this one specific thing that we're doing. So this first use case for Storytell is going to be to just be able to find linear tickets. The search in Linear it's okay, and I'm sure it's going to be getting better because Linear is such a phenomenal product. But right now, today, it can be hard to find that one ticket that, especially if you're not as familiar with all the tickets that are in Linear. This Storytell is going to give you a really easy way to do that. So in fact, let's call this backlog through in progress, and I'm going to find engineering issues that are in any of these stages, basically work that has not been completed. So I'm going to make this a workspace view and I'm going to save it. All right, so now that I've done this, you can click on the three dots here and you can say export issues as CSV. And that's a really quick export process. You can see that it is done down here. I'm going to open the file up. So now I've got that file ready to go. Okay, now you can go over to Storytell, just register if you haven't already registered. You want to just be able to drop that CSV into Storytell. The thing I recommend is that you make a new project. So by default, when you get into Storytell, you're going to be in a project called My First Project. I've renamed it here. But what you can do is click on this project, and then you can just say add project. We've already created a project here called Storytell Engineering Linear Tickets. You can just add a project and do the same thing. Now that you've created this project, you can invite others in your company into the project. You can create a secret link here. You can invite people in by email, or what you probably want to do is just give domain access to anybody at your company. So, this would be like mycompany.com, etc. And then if you make them owners, they'll have full access. If you make them collaborators, they'll be able to work but not delete the files that you load in. That's up to you. But what we want to do now is we want to just drop this CSV into here. So we're going to go ahead and do this just like this. And now we are loading this CSV in. Okay, there's another thing that I want to do, which is I want to load in all of our completed items to use from a product marketing standpoint. So let me do that real fast. Okay, so now I have, again, engineering team, and I have Eng, PR, and review all the way through released. Save this as a workspace view again, and export issues as CSV. So here it is down here. We'll go ahead and open that up. And then we're going to also just drag this into Storytell. Okay, so now we can start to work with these. If I go over to All Knowledge here, I can see that we've got these two files that are processing. I'll give them a second to process here. Great, now they are ready. And now I can start to do things with them. So we can see here that there is a chat icon next to each of these. And I can chat with these files. I can do it from here, from my All Knowledge pane. Okay, let me show you how I'm going to use this right now. So there is a linear issue to enable deletion of chat threads that I want to pick up as an engineer and start to work on, but I can't remember which issue it was. The product manager made it, and so I can just go here in Storytell and say in, and I can say an at. And when I say an at, I can choose one of these two files to query. And so I want to do the not completed ones, the backlog through in progress, and I'll just say, what was the issue about deletion of chat threads? Okay, so I've asked that question in natural language. Storytell by default will improve the question. And so I can either use this better version of the question, or I can just use the one that I wrote, and sure, I'll use the better version of the question, so I'll say submit this one instead. And now Storytell is going to go find it for me. Okay, and here we can find that it's issue ENG5041. It tells me a little bit about it. And great, that's the exact ticket that I was looking for. So that's one great use case, is just being able to really do deep research on all of your tickets. But let's imagine that I'm a product marketer, so maybe I get an invitation into this project, so you can just grab a secret link here and share it with anybody in the company to be able to join the project. And I'm a product marketer and I want to ask something more like this. Not just product marketers, maybe you're a product manager and you want to do this for the company internally, or you're an executive and you want to really understand like what's all the work that we've done in the past month. So I want to give our users an update of all the features we've shipped in the past month using, and then I'll do an @ here, and I'm going to look at the completed issues this time. And again, we can see that there is a better version of the question here, which looks great. So I'll go ahead and submit that one instead. And again, Storytell goes and does deep research on my data. We can see that it's going to look for completed engineering issues from the past month. Okay, and we can see that Storytell is building it out for me, which is great. Just so awesome to see this. And by the way, Storytell can also create an infographic or a picture as well. So maybe we try doing that just to make this fun. Giving me a little bit about, by the numbers and technical enhancements, etc. I'll say create an infographic that showcases this work done. We can see here, better version of the question. Awesome, love that feature. Great, here is an infographic. And with images, it's gonna be like, this is in beta right now, right? So we can see that it says like, it doesn't quite spell engineering right, things like that. So I might redo this to get it just right. I can also ask for like a photorealistic image, for example, here. So I'll give that one a try. Something fun. We have an LLM router that actually picks the best image generation model depending on the type of image that I'm asking for. Okay, here is the image that Storytell has made for me. So there's a little bit about what Storytell can do to really make all that work that's being done in a ticketing system like Linear or Jira valuable for the entire organization, for executives, for product marketers, for product managers, for engineers. There's so much more that we can do here, but hopefully that's a great start. And if you're using Storytell to do things like this, I would love to hear about it. We love building for you. Thank you.